Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com, and this is episode 201 of Photo Critiques. And in this episode, I'm pleased to critique the work of Mike Murchison. Mike sent me in some really nice shots. And this first one I like a lot. We have these natural leading lines of the walkway leading us through the shot, and contributing with the walkway are the street lamps, kind of leading our way through the shot. What I want to caution you about, though, is the JPEG here is very dark. Now, I mentioned several times in the critiques when we have dark images, and if we're going to sell them as fine art prints, or if we're going to print them ourselves, when they're really dark, they don't print well. They don't look right. So I would encourage you to make sure first that your monitor is calibrated. So you got to really start out before you process any images that your monitor is perfectly calibrated. They sell calibration devices at like Amazon.com. They're like $80. I mean, you could buy a real expensive one, $300-400, but the $80-90 ones work great, and it's real easy to do. So that's first of all, you get your monitor calibrated so you know that what you're looking at is it's gonna print exactly like that. That's number one. Then once you do that, be careful that you don't put too much of the image in darkness. Now it's okay to have little bits of it in darkness because that adds some depth and some texture to the shot. But if you have too much, it just won't look right. Now I'm not sure how much I could help this guy out here, but we open up shadows, and you just get it so that you could see some detail where before it was just all dark and black. So be aware of that and keep that in mind, especially if you want to sell the print as a fine art print, or if you're going to print it yourself. This shot's pretty cool. I like this leading line. We have the birds out here at the end. It's a little dark too, but this is okay. I like that the middle's kind of brighter, right in the middle, because that helps draw the viewer's gaze to the middle of the shot. So it's really a nice shot. I like this shot too. Really nice reflections, nice colors, the detail on the trim of the boats. So it's a really nice shot. This is a nice shot. I've seen a lot of people, they have entire libraries and photo albums of windows and doors. So it's a real popular thing to shoot. And one thing I've found that makes the shot is you want to have at least 2 of 3 different things going for you in the shot. You want to look for a geometric pattern if possible. So in this case we have the bricks, and we have this this here, I don't know what you call that. We have this down here, so we have some shapes and geometric patterns, not just the square or rectangular shape of the door or window, but other things like these bricks. The other thing is you want some texture, so like peeling paint, stuff like that. And the third thing is color. So you want contrasting colors, conflicting colors, it's also called. That's colors that are opposite each other on a traditional color wheel, like yellow is opposite purple, orange is opposite blue, things like that. The other thing now, for a window, I'll add a fourth thing, is the reflections. You could have some really interesting reflections. Now in this case, in this shot, we have pretty much 3 of those 4 things going for us. We of course have the reflections, and you want something interesting in here. You don't want just you holding your camera up being reflected in the window. You want something else. So we have these American flags over here, and that's kind of interesting. We have texture by the way the brick is, and then we have the geometric patterns of the brick. And you could argue there's some color there too, but we don't really have contrasting colors. We would need reds with green here, so if there's a big green plant here, that would help. But that's what you look for when you're photographing. Well, you look for those things when you're photographing just about anything, but it's particularly good if you're photographing doors and windows. This is a really nice shot. I assume this was a street shot, and maybe this is a vendor or somebody in the street, and you took a shot, and it's really well done. Nice catch lights in the eyes, really a nice pose. He's mugging for the camera, but he's doing he's not overdoing it, and I like it. Very well done. This shot too, he's posing for the camera, and it kind of shows off his kind of makeup he's wearing and his costume, so it's pretty cool. This shot I like a lot. This is an environmental portrait, and but what you did here, what I really like what Mike did here, is he focused on the birds over here, and he has the butcher out of focus and the other person back here out of focus. So we really have kind of this stuff in focus and then everything back here out of focus. But so it makes it interesting. We could really see what they're doing here. It kind of tells a story, which what you want an environmental portrait to do. And it's very well done. This shot's nice. I like that you got the entire monument in. You didn't cut it off or anything like that. Now it is a busy shot. I mean, in the background we have a lot of stuff going on. So, it's a nice rendition of what you saw. It's hard to probably do any better than this. It's an interesting scene. I don't know where this is. I'd like to find this, where this is, because it's really kind of cool. I like what you did here. Um, I'd like to say that you could work this scene too. There, I could see a lot of possibilities where you might get over to the side instead of shooting this straight on. Is get over to the side and like focus on like this monkey or something and leave this guy out of focus, or vice versa, and go around, get different shots, have somebody sit in here and mug with the monkeys too. That would be interesting. So you could try some different things. Also, just glancing at it in this image, I don't know if it's the way I'm looking at it or not. It looks a little crooked. It looks like this end of the bench is higher than this end of the bench. So I'd like you to see if you could straighten that out too. This is a nice shot. This is similar to that ice skating rink shot, and I think that was Rockefeller Square. That other one is it's a busy scene. It's kind of hard to get a really artistic shot. You're kind of just more doing a shot, recording the scene. So it's nice. You have the car going away, a lot of people in the area. But you did a nice job. It's a nice shot. This is a nice shot. Now this one's kind of dark too, but I like this. I think this works being dark, having these areas silhouetted. It's very nice. We have this very bright sky here, but it's not overdone. If you look at the histogram, there's nothing that's turning red. When I hover over here, you can see nothing's turning red, so that means nothing is absolute white. When I hover over the triangle, now this other triangle I should say, this is the shadows, and you're going to see some blues. Some blues. See that blue? That means that's absolute black, wherever that blue is. That means there's no detail in there at all. But as I mentioned, you want that sometimes well, you want it in every shot a little bit. It adds depth and texture to the shot. In this case, in this shot, it adds a lot. I think it just makes this more stark against the bright sky, and it's a really nice shot. I think you did really well on this, Mike. This shot too, I think this is absolutely brilliant. Really nice shot. We have this diagonal line going through here of the bridge. Fantastic sky. We have the tree here. It's not really too overbaked. Done in black and white. We got a little bit of a glow, tiny bit, but it because we have white clouds there, it almost looks like it blends in with the clouds. It is grainy, which a lot of times when you convert these things to black and white, I know I use Nick Silver Effects Pro 2. When I do it, it gets really grainy, but that adds an effect too. And you can see it doesn't really take away from the resolution that much. It just kind of adds a uniform noise. So, but it's really well done. It's a really nice shot. Very well done, Mike. I think that's the last one. Yep. Mike, thank you very much for sharing your work with us. I really did enjoy looking at your images. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank everyone that watches all my videos. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And if you could, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that. That's it for now. I'll talk to you guys soon.